Human beings are inherently good. This is the greatest of life's lessons, and was taught to me by Billy, a man without a home or a friend. Billy was an alcoholic drifter who spent a lot of time in jail. All of the sheriffs and deputies knew him. They all called him a mean drunk. I met Billy at Denver County Jail while I was working as a new case manager. When I asked the sheriff to bring Billy down from his cell so I might talk with him, the sheriff replied, "Why would you want to talk to him?" To my surprise, Billy called me a week later. He was at a clinic downtown. He was very drunk, walking in traffic, starting fights with people. I didn't know how to help that day. I called the detox man. As he was taken away, he gave me an angry, cold glare. I wondered if I was right for this job. Billy kept calling, and I grew to know him. He was 58 years old, but could pass for 75. He had large ears. He was a severe alcoholic with a long criminal history and never held a job. All the cops in town knew Billy. Even the nurses said he was a mean and nasty drunk. He'd been 86th out of most shelters and food lines in town. The service provider's tones would change the minute I mentioned Billy's name. People moved away from Billy everywhere he went. He remembered sitting on a bus and no one sitting next to him, even though it was the only empty seat. Billy said that his own niece boarded the bus and wouldn't sit with him, pretending not to see him. Billy told me that he walked the streets all night, sometimes sneaking into apartment houses and sleeping in hallways. The world went out of its way to ignore Billy. He told me he would go for days without talking to anyone. The only human contact he had was fighting off teenagers trying to beat him up. One night he was picked up and put in jail on some old charges. After 3 days, they released him at 2 a.m. without his jacket and told him he could come back at 8:30 to collect his belongings. It was 5 degrees outside. He had nowhere to go. I kept checking on Billy, finding him in the morning on the street, making sure he made it through the night. I spent a lot of time walking around with Billy, talking to him. Billy began to open up to me and we became close. The Billy that I came to know was quiet and caring, scared and sad, almost out of hope. He told me that no one had ever checked up on him before or looked for him. He cried once when he told me that his family had shunned him, but he didn't blame them. He'd made a lot of mistakes. He once told me that he was scared that he would die and that no one would care. I was grateful for the love that Billy showed me. Billy started going long periods without drinking, once for several weeks. He would relapse, get sober, call me to say that he was ready to try again. I told him I was there for him, sober or drunk. Once I was able to give him a bus pass, the first that he had ever had. Billy said he took the bus as far west as he could to the end of the line. He said that this was as far from downtown and as close to the mountains as he had ever been in his whole life. He touched the foothills, smelled the pine. One morning, I received a call in my office from the coroner. Billy died of a head injury. I never found out what happened to him. Someone said that he just slipped on the ice and hit his head. Someone else said that he received some money and was robbed and murdered. I never tried to find out the answer. I guess I was scared of the truth.
Hey! Call 911. Hey!
Hello? We have there's this guy on the ground. He's not responding to anything. Can you, I think you need to send somebody right away. They're coming. I don't know what to do.
Billy taught me a lot. He taught me not to judge others, that every one of us is worthy. The people who are the hardest to love are the ones who need it the most. In my work and in my life, as I encounter people living on the streets, I try to remember Billy and do what I can for them without judgment. I try to listen to them, to convey to them that they matter. I try to see everyone on the street, to recognize them as people, to say hi to them. This is a small thing, but Billy taught me that it matters. Billy's family chose not to have a service. I accepted this. He's buried in an unmarked pauper's grave. Today, in one of Denver's homeless shelters, there's a plaque on the wall to remember Billy. Inscribed on the plaque are the words, "Billy's life was proof that the essence of man is good."